Good day, everyone, especially to you, ma'am. I am Sherilyn Blatendas Kitang from Beauty Beauty Dwarf 3D. My topic is STS and human condition, human flourishing, and science technology. The concept of human flourishing is the best captured by the term eudaimonia. It comes from the Greek word eu, meaning well, and daimon, daimon meaning spirit. It is defined as a contented state of being happy, healthy, and prosperous. It is also understood as the effort to attain self-discovery and fulfillment with the setting of society, each with the right to pursue or her own his or her own efforts to achieve the state. So, uh, daimon, daimon means spirit or you means well. So, eudaimonia refers to a state of living well in both body and spirit. Human flourishing is being happy, healthy, and prosperous. It's not just about wealth or material success, but also about self-discovery and finding fulfillment in life. It recognizes that each person has the right to pursue their own path toward happiness and meaning with society. In philosophy, eudaimonism refers to pursuing the right actions that lead to the one's well-being. In ancient Greek, philosophers developed normative ethical theories called virtue ethics that emphasize that the virtue of mind and characters. According to them, such virtues are linked to the concept of arete, meaning excellent, any kind that is necessary in order for one individual to flourish and attain the good life. So this means excellent. Arete means excellent. It's the idea that every person should aim to develop excellent in whatever they do because this helps them flourish and live the good life. Virtue ethics. Virtue ethics, ancient Greek philosophers like Aristotle said that to live a good life, we must develop a good virtues, qualities of mind and character. Example of virtues is honesty, courage, kindness, and wisdom. Eudaimonia, this is the state of living well when you are happy, fulfilled, and emotionally at peace. It's not just about feeling good for a moment, but about living a truly meaningful life. The history of eudaimonia. Human flourishing, according to Aristotle, the term eudaimonia is explained by Aristotle in his Nicomachean Ethics that dates back to 14th century BC before Christ. However, earlier thinkers such as Democritus, Socrates, and Plato present a similar concept. Uh, Socrates believes that the virtue is knowledge, knowing what is good and what is evil. For him, if you know what is right, you will do it. You will do it, and this leads to true, happiness. According to according to Plato, he believed that the mind should rule over spirit, emotion, and physical desires. He also noticed that people feel guilty when they do something wrong, showing that the soul has a role in achieving eudaimonia. So Aristotle, in his Nicomachean Ethics in 14th century BC, he explained that eudaimonia has the ultimate goal of life, living well and flourishing through virtue, wisdom, and good actions. Um, Aristotle believed happiness, living a virtuous and meaningful life. Socrates believed happiness, knowledge of good evil. Plato believes happiness, mind controlling emotional and desires. Eudaimonia is an objective that characterizes that well life as an individual ideal emotional state. It is thought of as the highest human good and itself. There are different philosophical theories that attempt to explain eudaimonia, such as hedonism. According to hedonism, mm, according to hedonism, say that pleasure is the highest good of life. Originate from Aristippus, who believed life's purpose is to experience maximum pleasure. Another approach to good is from the historical and philosophical teaching of Aristotle, the eudaimonic well-being. He assumed that happiness is a vague idea, emphasizing that not all desires are worth pursuing. Though some may yield pleasure, they will not always produce lasting happiness. So according to Epicurus and other notable hedonists, agreed with Aristotle that eudaimonia is the highest good. However, Epicurus associated with the idea of pleasure's sakes. Mm. Finding balance, according to Epicurus, is finding balance, seeking pleasure but in a way to avoid pain harms. Example is enjoying a simple meal with friends, pleasure without overindulging in excess that might cause problems later. Aristotle depart from the Socrates view that happiness is based on leading life virtue. He states that such happiness is conditioned for it is dependent on the other condition. Any individual living a life of virtue will not being happy faced with the extreme predicament. An individual's virtue cannot bring happiness if he or she is sick or starving. In Aristotle's point of view, the individual's worldly condition are important in mm, his or her pursuit of eudaimonia. Aristotle view happiness come from virtue, wisdom, and meaningful. Epicurus, happiness is still pleasure, but best when it's simple and balanced. Hedonism is happiness comes from a pleasure. Aristotle states that eudaimonia is not an instrument good, but rather the ultimate good, for it is intrinsically good or good its own sake. For Aristotle, being part of community is needed for an individual to flourish as a human being. He emphasized that friendship and mutual admiration between two persons is a contribution factor in attaining eudaimonia. The Stoics Stoic Stoic perceive virtue based on the morality. They believe that eudaimonia is the highest good and is achieved by living in harmony with nature. However, perfect virtue is impossible to achieve. Moral virtues such as courage, honesty, and justice are good, while moral vices like envy, slander, and shame are bad. Health, honor, and wealth are neutral. So here, Uh, the Stoics believe that virtue, kabutihang asal, is the foundation of a good life. For them, the highest good is eudaimonia, like true happiness or human flourishing, which can be reached by living in harmony with nature and reason. So they thought that perfect virtue is possible of human, but it is still the ultimate goal to strive for. So moral virtues like courage, honesty, and justice are considered good because they guide people toward living rightly. Moral vices such as envy, slander, and shame are bad because they destroy harmony within oneself and with others. Things like health, honor, and both are neutral. They are not automatically good or bad. Their value depends on how people use them. And that's all. Thank you.